Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Quick 60. Sorry I've been out for a little bit with COVID, and then we had this hurricane stuff down in Texas where I live, by Louisiana, so it's been kind of hectic, but I'm coming back to y'all. So today I have my top 3 picks for week 2 in the NFL. Last week I picked the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Rams. So I was 3-0 on my 3 picks. The Broncos were my favorite pick, and they didn't disappoint at all. So my first pick for this week is the Texans plus 12 points against the Browns. Yeah, they're traveling on the road against a really good Cleveland team, and I don't think that the Texans are 12 points that bad of a team. Christian Kirksey, Vernon Hargraves, they did really good last week. I think they're key free agents that they did, as well as King did really good last week for the Texans. So I think that their new head coach has them playing hard. Those free agents, they're coming in and making a difference. And so I think that Tyrod Taylor has something to prove. And while I don't think that the Texans are going to win the game in Cleveland, I think they're going to keep it respectable and cover the 12 points. Some people were saying that the Texans wouldn't win the game all year, and they won 37-21 against the Jags last week. And Brandon Cooks had 5 catches for 132 yards. So I think that Mark Ingram had a pretty decent day as well. Like I said, Tyrod Taylor played well, so I think the Texans, they can be competitive this year. So my next pick is the Dallas Cowboys plus 3 against the Los Angeles Chargers. And obviously they barely lost to the Super Bowl defending champions Bucks 29-31 last week. They had a couple extra days of rest to prep, so I think that's going to help them this week, especially with the travel. Dak, he's back to his old self. He had over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. He targeted Amari Cooper, something crazy. He had a great game. Now Zeke, he didn't have that good of a game, but the Buccaneers linebacking corps is really good, so that's kind of to be expected. I expect Zeke to have a better game this week. And the Chargers, they don't really have a great home field advantage, so I'm not worried about the Cowboys necessarily playing on the road this week. So if you can get the Cowboys plus 3.5, I like that a lot better, but Cowboys plus 3 I'll still take. So my third pick of this week for week 2 is the Bills minus 3.5. I'll take the 3.5 against the Dolphins. I don't think Tua looked very good, even though they beat the Patriots. He was just throwing it up for interceptions. I think the Dolphins got really lucky, and I'm surprised that the Bills lost to the Steelers. The Steelers have a really good defense. The Dolphins' defense is not near as good as the Steelers. And, the Bills barely lost to the Steelers 23-16. So Josh Allen threw the ball a little too much, 51 times. It was 30 for 51, 270 yards and a touchdown. No interceptions, though. Devin Singletary had 72 yards. So I think that the Bills, a lot of people picked them to go to the Super Bowl. And so I just can't see them starting 0-2. And, division rival, I think that they're going to show their dominance in the division and kind of beat up on the Dolphins this week. So that's my third pick. Take the 3.5 points with the Bills. So in my fourth pick would be the Panthers against the Saints at home, a division rival. There wasn't a spread last time I looked, so depending on what the spread's going to be, that's going to depend on if I play that game or not. But the Saints coming off a huge win last week against the Packers, and I expect to kind of let down a little bit against the Panthers. And as far as the Saints goes, Jameis Winston, he's going to put up numbers offensively. He's also going to turn the ball over quite a bit, and so I think that the Panthers can take advantage of that with Jeremy Chin and et cetera on defense this week. And I think Jameis is kind of due for some turnovers. And also, we beat up on the Packers pretty good, but Aaron Rodgers wasn't there all preseason. He won MVP last year. Don't forget that he's still really good. He's not washed up. It just takes some time to get his legs underneath him, get game speed. Kind of like Saquon against the Broncos. He didn't have a great game either. He didn't play all last year. Cortland Sutton, same thing with the Broncos. So, he had a bad game week 1, but that doesn't mean that they're going to have a bad season just because they had one bad game. So give it time for those veteran players, those superstars to come around, and they're going to put up their numbers like they're supposed to. All right, guys. So those are my picks for week 2. I appreciate the love and support. Stay tuned for week 3, and I'll be updating you on some fantasy advice as well. Peace.